and they're just stewing because they want to clap so much, but they can't. They can't and they won't.
The HUNKS Podcast.
He didn't say nothing to nobody, and he walked directly into the woods after the show.
Welcome to the HUNKS Podcast. Brought to you by Safe at Home Manitoba, and in conjunction we got a little help from our friends over the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, and we are recording from 5 different locations spanned across Manitoba. 4 out of 5 in Winnipeg. 1, you'll find out more about that in a minute. My name's Tim.
I'm Dana.
I'm Matt.
I'm Rory.
And together we make up the sketch group HUNKS. This is season 2 of HUNKS Podcast, episode 2, featuring the fastest rising comedian in Manitoba for 8-9 years running now. I will not relinquish that title. All the way from Poplar River First Nation. How you doing, Paul? Paul Rabliauskis, everybody.
How's it going? How's it going, Hunks? Oh my goodness, it's nice to see you guys.
Good, man. You too.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you, buddy.
Feel real enough. That didn't feel real enough. I apologize. That did not. I'm nervous. Yeah, it's really nice seeing y'all.
Yeah, you too, man.
I've known Tim. I've known Tim for about 15 years. I've known Matt for maybe 13. Dana maybe 10. And Rory's a nice fella.
Over this episode, Rory's plan is to win you over.
Yeah.
Nope, not gonna happen.
I'm gonna get Paul to admit that he's known me for 10 years as well.
No.
Good luck. Man, it's really, really good to see you, buddy. It's really, really good to see you. How you been? What have you been? You've been working on some projects up there and putting some stuff out. I've been laughing very hard at. Little
you mean
clips.
like Instagram videos?
Instagram videos, yeah.
You mean selfies? First of all, I'm lucky. Is that what they're called now? I'm very lucky I get to work right now. I know it's sort of crazy for everyone. And, so I'm lucky I got a job. I work in the lands department, and I always say there's nothing funny about lands. Literally, really,
you do always say that.
Funny about it. But just super blessed, and just being out here, it's a super isolated place. Like I live on the furthest side of my reserve, and it's literally the next neighbor. It's about like a 8-minute walk from here. So it's I'm really isolated. So it's a lot of time for me to be creative and I almost think like when I think of the reserve, and I use the reserve as my canvas. Like it's my studio where I get to go and tell these cool stories and get cousins involved and people involved and sketches and different things. So it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wanted to ask. I know this has been on everyone's mind. W's Pizza versus Gloria's Pizza.
Say it again. Debbie's Pizza.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Poplar River First Nation website, and they had 2 pizza joints listed, and I gotta know if
No. Yeah. There's Keith is the guy you actually want to go see. We have he has like a proper kitchen. Yeah.
And he does pizzas.
Everybody, all our stores are just guys it's just people with first names. That's all it is. We got George's, we got Ray's, we got Suzanne's. Those are the only stores we have here in the reserve. But I'm not gonna put no pizza makers out there.
No.
That's sacred. We can't be talking about that.
That's fair, man. That's fair. It was around, we were just talking before we were recording, was it around this time last year that you went out to Vancouver to be a part of that stand-up special out there?
Yeah, that was the JFL New Wave of stand-up. Yeah, it was almost a year, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It was actually a funny story because we were supposed to, me and my mom, like where I live, it's an isolated community. So in the winter time, you can take a plane or you can use when the ice arrive out a day before, we were supposed to jump on the plane. And our vehicle on the Sunday, the vehicle didn't start. Like it froze. and it didn't start. And so I was like, oh man, I need to get to Winnipeg today. So we phoned the airport, and they had like one seat left for me, and so they flew out, and I actually just by the skin of my teeth made it to
Oh my
to
God.
Vancouver to tape that special, and it was really special. But just there's some of the elements you have to deal with when moving, when you live way to hell up north, man. But it's knock on wood, we made it, and we banged it out of the park. So I shouldn't say banged. We did a good job on that.
Yeah,
we did a good job on that.
You did bang
You
it
did.
over.
Banged it.
Yeah, you did. I remember.
Okay.
I told you this. I
Okay.
was sitting in Toronto, and one of the comics who was on the show was like, "Oh, you're from Winnipeg? Oh my God! Like, do you know Paul Rabliauskis? I just got back from this thing, and he just killed it." And I was just like, my heart grew like 10 inches,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I had to go to the
that's
hospital
cool.
right away. Oh, I was just going to ask, when did you make that move back from Winnipeg back to Poplar River First Nation? Because you were in the PEG for a little
It's
bit.
almost been 2 years. The story is like we moved we lived here when we were little, and then we moved to go to elementary school. We moved like in grade 2. We moved back to the city, and then we lived there. And then my parents ended up moving back when I was 16, and then my brother and my sister eventually moved back. But I stayed behind because of comedy. I was like my early 20s when I got into comedy, and it was between I was like I really wasn't making that much money. Times were kind of tough, but comedy, it was just it was just something I always thought about doing, and it was just easy for me to do. And once I got into it, I never wanted to leave it. And so if it wasn't like, and because of comedy, I was able to get my first job in radio, and it led to everything else. So and it's weird because we talked about that Vancouver trip, but it's crazy because it's kind of humbling being here because nobody really, I don't want to say they don't care about my comedy, but like people in the reserve got more things to worry about than me being on JFL. So it's really humbling when you come back home and they're like,
Yeah.
they'd rather talk about me being on the radio than me being in stand-up comedy, which is it's nice. It's nice for the ego.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a good balance, eh?
Yeah, man.
I remember so over the last 2 years with you living in Poplar River, but you make it down to Winnipeg every little while or whatnot. It's always such a joy, and it's always such like a testament, I guess, to that natural ability you have when you're on stage doing stand-up. Is like, I feel like you could take years off, come back, and it'd be like you never left. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you got that
It's
great
innate.
energy. Yeah. I was.
I feel. I mean, I feel like you're never done learning how to do stand-up, but I feel like I know what I'm capable of at this point in my career. I'm almost 15 years into it, and I think I found my voice, and I think I know who I am now. And so it's I don't miss a beat really when I go back on stage, and every time I take a break, I always come back a little bit stronger. So I do that, 12 times a year now. That's how I look at it.
Have you done any of the online shows, Paul, since things have been locked down?
No. I've been asked to do a couple online shows, but just because like you can see now some of the issues we're having just with the Zoom, and I can't have buffering issues mess up my punchline. Like I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
So I've done like I said, I've got a bunch of equipment here, so I have been able to do pre-recorded shows where it's me standing up and just like I'll cut to jokes that I have online, and I'll cut to sketches that I've done in the past, and then I'll tell stories. And so I've been able to do that. That's been fun, and that's kind of what got me doing the sketches and wanted to do a YouTube show online. That's sort of what led me to doing that. So I have found ways around it, but I'm not a big fan of no audience.
Yeah,
It was tough. The last live show I did, I got very lucky. I got to be a part of the John Doerr show in October.
Oh God, right.
In Toronto.
Right.
And it was so crazy because I think they were recording 60 sets in like 2 days.
Oh my
And the
God.
crowds I think there were about 10 people in the crowd. And there was about 50 mannequins. And like there was more mannequins than there was audience members. So it's stressful for everybody. And it was so weird because there was like, I'm with my heroes, some of my guys I look up to, and they're like, I don't know about this. And I'm like, I felt so at ease. Just them struggling meant that I could struggle like easily. So it was weird. sort of last COVID show send off. I just don't want to do the Zoom shows. And like I said, I'm lucky I'm working and I'm being creative with the sketches where I can sort of still have an outlet for that stuff, but I can't. I don't want to do the Zoom shows. Knock on wood, not yet. Anyway, we'll see. But things are getting. We'll see. We'll see how things go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only Zoom show that I've done has been with Tim, because I was like, I don't think that I just want to be talking into a camera. At least if I'm talking to Tim, we can be bouncing off each other, making each other laugh.
Yeah.
And touching each other's private parts,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like stuff like that.
It's like your homemade porn videos too, just making each other laugh.
Yeah.
It was to completion. Yeah.
I've always had I don't want to be all like corny, but I've always approached comedy not on a spiritual level, but like on in terms of like we're sharing energies with people, and when it comes like energy is such a huge part. If you've seen my comedy, you understand like energy is a huge part of trying to grab everybody's attention, and part of what I do.
Yeah.
And it's I can't it just, if that's gone, then that's my weakness. That's a big part of what I do.
Yes.
And you kind of see my vulnerabilities when that's not there, and I don't need that to be out there.
Yeah, like I've seen
that
nights where you would walk on stage and just look at the crowd and they start busting up, and it's not something that translates over Zoom, right? Because like it's just the slightest thing that you do, but you know, when you can only see from chin to forehead, it doesn't translate, which is unfortunate.
No. I always, it's this energy of like, I'm about to say something stupid. Like that's like, I just, when I smile, it's like, oh, he's going to say something ridiculous. You can tell immediately, as soon as he goes up there, I'm like, he's going to say something ridiculous.
That's why I also feel like taking a break from stand-up can be so good for you, as you said, because sometimes you need to like go away to get your energy right, to love it again, and to want to be there again, and instead of just like showing up and hating everyone, you know? Yeah, and it's nice that it means a lot more to you if you do it less. Like it's just time taken away, and we're all gonna feel that when we go back. It's like, man, we realize, you know, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh yeah, and doing that to yourself sometimes is important, especially in comedy. So I can't. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be like I fantasize about what, you know, the day back with the energy in the room. Just everybody's gonna be laughing, everybody's gonna be smiling, there's gonna be no bad sets, everybody's gonna be just grateful for each other's presence.
Speak for yourself.
But it's gonna be amazing.
I'll be the only one bombing after COVID. People are like, can we go back in our houses alone?
Yeah.
Or just that guy?
I've been watching. It's funny. I try not to download stuff because we got like really slow internet. But I recently just got into Alan Partridge and all the amazing content. And I'm watching this stuff and I'm like, this is Tim Gray from 2008. This is Timmy. This is where I now understand where Tim Gray comes from. I get it.
1.0. Yeah.
Real funny stuff though.
I know it's a cheesy thing to ask in like a comedy interview, but I was reading the CBC interview that you did when that New Wave came out, and you just briefly mentioned just some show in small town Saskatchewan that was one of the worst shows. But, and it piqued my interest. What was that show like? Do you want to talk about it?
It was
too true.
You know, I don't mind talking about it. I'm not going to say the name because I saw what happened to Andy Noble on with the paw there on CTV News. I'm not going to mention the name of the town.
Yeah, right.
They came at him. They wore pitchforks and shit. But
Andy Noble went on CTV in like local news in Winnipeg, and he talked about these Zoom shows that he's been doing with Rumors every Friday, which is great shows, a lot of fun. And he mentioned that it's better than performing at the Paw and having beer cans thrown at you, which is a thing that happened to Andy. Like he was performing at the bar
by alcoholics.
Yeah. And the Alouette in the paw, and he had beer cans.
I was at that show.
chucked out. You were? Oh, no
I was
way.
at that show.
Yeah, it's a legendary show.
People were throwing beer cans. Chad was on stage, and a biker guy walked beside me. He's like, I think I want to beat this guy up. And I was like, don't. Please don't. It wasn't that bad, though. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Sounds like it wasn't that bad.
Saskatchewan show was awful, though.
Yeah.
Small town Saskatchewan. Myself, Ryan Ash, who's another incredible Canadian comic out of Edmonton, former Rumors host, and Jordan Wellwood, again, same thing, another great comedian based out of Winnipeg. We went to this small town Saskatchewan, and I go into town assuming that there's like nobody's racist. That's how I always go approach most things that I do. I'm like, I'm just gonna assume that nobody's racist.
I love that.
Crowd, let alone everybody in the crowd. Let alone I'm not saying they're all racist, but I started. I did a joke. I looked them up on Google, and the town. Their hockey team was the Bumblebees, but the team name used to be Natives. They used to be called the Natives, and they switched it to the Bumblebees. So I went at them. I was like, "How dare you replace us? Like, first of all, how dare you use the name in the first place, and second of all, how dare you replace us with Bumblebees?"
Yeah.
So I kind of set the mood.
Oh,
It was like they didn't, and then watching my friend Ryan Ash go up, and then they disrespected him while he was on stage, and it was he after his set he walked into the woods. He didn't say nothing to nobody, and he walked directly into the woods after the show based on how bad
Just walked into the night.
Yeah.
yeah. And they love Jordan Wellwood. I don't know why. I don't know. They love Jordan. Jordan killed him.
Because Jordan, he puts
I'm
out a
joking.
great
That was a
energy of
joke.
like a dad that's gonna wrestle you, you know?
No, Jordan did kill, by the way. Jordan was a pro that night, but me and Ryan, it was definitely the worst nights of our lives. There was more shenanigans, but it's not safe for work.
Sure.
It's hard to believe that I missed that shit right now. It's hard to believe that I missed that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I'd give it all. I trade it all. I trade all my nephews and nieces for one night, just like that again. Even though it was again.
For one night in a bad small town show.
Oh, please. Somebody spills beer on me. I'll take that, please. Yeah, one
Somebody
more night.
pull me aside and tell me a brutal joke, please.
For the love of God.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
And pass it off as a story that actually happened to you.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You told your son somebody's going to get hurt real bad.
Real bad.
Yeah. Well, it's not that far off that we'll be back in front of a live audience and making them laugh and making them forget their troubles.
Of course.
I'm sure. Shaping up to be a good shummer, I think.
I hope so.
We'll see. Yeah.
I can't wait to start. It's so cold.
I'm betting the under.
It's been cold. It's been really cold.
Yeah.
Bada bet, man.
That's aiming for 2024.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm moving into my parents' house in the summertime, so you guys can come visit me anytime. We're gonna move into a nice setup.
I would love to come and visit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's all
Bro,
go.
you guys, we can go. I can hire my cousin Dennis to take us on the boats, and then we go in the lake. We drop some anchor. We drop some lures. I mean, yeah, we need to drop an anchor too. But
Yeah.
I got a funny story. I'm in charge of these kids during the summertime, like the summer students, and we were doing film stuff. Like we were making a documentary about Poplar River.
Nice.
So we hired my cousin to take us out on the boats. So we're at the fishing station, which is just right here. We're waiting for the boat to show up. These kids are fooling around. Kid drops his Spider-Man cell phone into the water, like a very expensive Spider-Man cell phone, and little kid, he's like 5 feet nothing, and he comes up to me, he's like, Paul, I dropped my phone, and I'm like, it's by the dock, so I'm like, it's shallow. I said, just jump in and go get it, but I didn't know it was the fishing station, so they dig 12 feet trenches, so it's not shallow, like 12 feet deep, and this little kid, he doesn't know how to swim, but I was like, you're gonna was like, you'll jump in and you'll hit the ground right away. So the kid like jumps in and he comes out immediately and he's like, I can't touch the ground. So I'm like, get up. Anyway, so none of the kids, we ended up having to go on we went and get shots of everything, and we came back, and I ended up jumping around, and I swam around for his phone. We found his phone like after
awesome.
like a half hour, but
That's great that it started with him losing his phone and it ended with him getting completely soaked.
And almost drowning.
The jump in. I'm in charge of this kid. Like, I shouldn't have been in charge of these kids, man. I'm like, jump in. What are you looking at me for? Jump in. Oh, the look on his face when he came up. He was terrible.
You should have used a taller kid to test it out.
I definitely thought he was going to die.
Grab a taller
That's
kid
what I
by
said to
his
my
ankle.
cousin. I'm like, these kids aren't tall like they used to. Yeah, you guys would love it up here, though. I made pickerel for days. We'd be catching pickerel for days.
Yeah.
I love pickerel. That's one of my
Who
favorite
doesn't
things.
love pickerel?
Yeah, man.
I had it this summer with I had it this summer with some curry spice, some mango curry spice. Just fried in some butter. Ooh.
Hey, now let me ask you this: pickerel cheese,
had-
is that literally the cheek?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like potato chips. It's a delicacy. They're so good. You deep fry them, a little bit of garlic batter. Oh my Lord.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
We're getting the listener hungry if they
Best
aren't
is-
already.
Yeah. The best is I've had pickerel caught and like my mom filleted it and like fried it on the rocks where we caught it. And I'm like, oh that's fresh.
fried
Holy
it on
It's
the
still shaking.
rocks.
It was, yeah, you make a fire on the rocks. You make some tea. You usually have like some grub. So you have some bannock. You fillet the fish, fry it up. You got the batter and everything.
Ooh.
Like it's like within
battered it,
minutes of catching it. It's battered it. My mom's got
whoa.
the batter played out like fresh.
Oh,
And then you wash it down with like tea and bannock. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Ooh.
You got
Get
like
outta
a whole
here.
fridge with you?
We don't want our land back anymore. We don't want our land back. You guys can have it. You guys can have it all.
It's all good now.
I hate to say this, but
There is.
Everybody paints the Rez as such an awful place. It's fucking paradise here, bro. I love it.
Everything worked out just
I
fine.
get my drinking water out of. That's the only thing. I have to buy my drinking water from the store, though. I don't
Yeah.
I can't drink my tap water, so that's the only. I get lazy. I got lazy on Sunday. I was like, I'll get water tomorrow, and then I drank all my water like at midday, and I was like, I have no water. I ate soup because I was thirsty. I had chicken with soup.
What do you do when you run out of soup?
Don't feel bad for me though. I could have went to the store. Though. Don't feel bad.
Is it true what they say about like the cost of produce and stuff like that up there?
Well,
Or is
it's
everybody
not as
lying?
bad as it used
Is
to be,
everybody
'cause there's
lying to me?
No, it's bad. It's still bad. It's crazy. I'll go and spend like at least $50 worth of groceries and come out with a $200 bill. Like that's how bad it is. I don't even pay attention to how much things cost anymore because
right.
I just know it's going to be expensive. But they do subsidize the fruit and the vegetables, which is nice.
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Thank you, Northern. Thank you, government. We're hoping to get fast internet this summer too. That's like the next. If I get fast internet here, I won't have to leave the reserve ever again. Elon Musk actually I sent Elon Musk's company an email, and we're hoping to get them. So it's there's I can see one bright satellite, and I never feel alone. I just Elon Musk being a perv, been like.
Yeah, I like to
Fast
imagine
internet one
there's
day, though.
somebody inside the satellite, like pressing their hand against the window as they're floating by. Help!
One of his 40 sons or whatever. Doesn't he have like 1 million kids?
Does he?
I think so, yeah. I think he has so many sons.
What?
That's why he's doing all this satellite stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
well, how the fuck am I going to support this? I got to go to space.
I've heard of 40 nights. This is crazy.
Toys are expensive.
Yeah, no kidding. And like those pass-me-downs aren't going to last past like the 12th kid, you know?
Yeah, he's got so many kids, he's naming them just numbers now.
Like a star.
Yeah.
Number 8.
191.867.
Yeah, didn't like
He was
his last
hanging
kid.
out with some stand-up comedians recently. I'm sorry, Dave.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, he was hanging out, and then one of the comedians, I think it was Chappelle, who got COVID
Yeah.
from that little get-together.
No
With
way.
with
That's
Grimes.
just for me reading
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because I
There
think
was a bunch
Grimes.
of them.
I think Grimes had COVID and then gave it to Dave Chappelle, which is like, how fucking ridiculous a sentence is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How honored would you be to be that COVID, though? That's amazing. What an amazing story.
Oh, to be COVID on the wall at that party.
Jerry. Yeah.
Didn't isn't Grimes and Elon Musk's new baby named like a symbol? Isn't it like a symbol?
I
It's
think
not even a word.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's something crazy. And then they had like the
something
state of California wouldn't register it or something like that, so they had to be like, "Fine, it's Jeff."
Fine, just call him Gordon.
Matt, I understand you had something interesting happen to you this morning.
I saw a pack of coyotes running around near my apartment block.
In the building.
The building, yeah. Somebody let them in. I tell them, look, if you don't know them, don't let them in the building. And here they are.
If you don't know,
They were wearing one trench coat.
where are you?
I thought I saw these coyotes in the building last week visiting Unit 205. So,
Just going door to door asking for smokes.
They're selling
You're
MTS.
stealing all the Amazon packages.
Yeah.
they're registering people to vote. How did you get it? We have our own key, actually. The government gives it. I'm in Point Douglas, and I'm right by the river, so I saw them running down the river. And I was in like my house coat in the morning drinking coffee, like, ugh, this ain't right. I better call the cops. As you do.
I love the idea of like both
Call
you
911.
and the coyote like just sharing a glance. Like, did he see us? He saw us.
Do you think he's the boss?
It was
Let them
bizarre.
be, man.
It was bizarre. There's like four of
Let the
them.
brothers walk.
Well, I didn't realize this, so I did call the government on them, and
Of course.
just the city, just the city. But then the city bumped it up to provincial, and
Shit.
So they were like, "We're going to get conservation to call you." And then this conservation guy called me, and he's like, "So what would you see?" I was like, "Yo, man, I saw 4 coyotes. It was crazy." He's like, "That's completely normal. It's completely normal in Winnipeg." I was like, "Yeah, but they're running on the river." He's like, "Yeah, they use the river like it's like their highway."
You're weird. You're the weird one.
A lot of people don't know this.
That's pretty much what he was like. It's completely normal. Have you ever seen a pack of wild dogs in Winnipeg? I don't know, man. Anyways, that's why I call them.
Yeah.
Anyways, you see a pack of wild dogs in Winnipeg, don't bother.
Yeah. Be like, they're just having fun.
Yeah.
They like to jump around. It's fun for them.
Well, they were jumping.
They've got good hearts.
I saw a deer walking down the back lane in Osborne Village a couple summers ago. And that
What?
was really weird. Yeah.
That is.
In Osborne Village, just clopping along.
That's a deer
Yeah.
that has nothing to live for at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Feel
like,
like-
when did they close
That's
the
a deer
vendor?
that's given up. He goes, Osborne's different, man. It's not the same.
Where's George's? My parents saw, or they knew someone who saw a a cougar take down a deer on the river this winter.
Whoa.
Like around in Beaudry Park.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
there's
crazy.
cougars, man.
Sorry, I think I might have saw a cougar as well, but it was a large cat. What happened was my water tank wasn't working, or my water pump wasn't working. So I went outside in the morning to use the bathroom, and I didn't have my glasses on or my contacts, and I literally went around the house, and I thought I saw a cat. I was like, oh, it's a kitty cat, and I'm like, this is a large, like it was a lynx or it was like a small. I was just like, well, I'm gonna go back. Okay, he ran, and I went back home. And I was like, I'm never going outside without my glasses ever again. The jungle would eat me alive.
Just immediately of this huge
Dana,
predator.
in the city, whereabouts did you see that, Dana, again? Or did
Oh,
did they
that's
see that?
outside the city. My parents live outside the city, but only just. It's
Okay.
like around Headingley, you know? So it's like pretty much the city, you know? So it's like from here where I live, which is like off Jubilee, it's like a 25-minute, 30-minute drive. And yeah, they saw it taking down a deer.
Whoa.
I'm way more afraid of
That's
cougars
terrifying.
than I am of bears or wolves or a pack of coyotes. I think cougars are the most lethal.
Yeah, they seem that way.
No, you should be no. That list of animals you just listed, you should be afraid of those ones just as equally. Those are some scary ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They didn't tell me this. We had fireworks just across the river on New Year's, but nobody told me this. So for 10 minutes straight, I literally thought a bear was breaking into my house. That's what the fireworks sounded like inside of my house. And it wasn't even funny. I was panicking because I don't have a phone. I don't have a telephone. And I was like, I couldn't see where the bear was coming. I kept looking, and I didn't want to go outside the house. I couldn't see it. And it felt like it was banging on my window, like my room window. And I messaged my dad. I was like, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. Anyway, it was fine. And then I saw the fireworks, and I was like,
You got me, bear.
Bear shooting off fireworks.
Animals?
Like, ha.
Yeah.
Bears on the phone with the government. Hey, somebody's lighting off
Delinquent
fireworks.
bears.
Bear's on the phone
There we
pretending
go.
to be the government. Like, yeah, it's no big deal. You see a bear shooting off fireworks? Yeah, they do that all the time on the river. It's like their highway.
Normal behavior. Wolves. In the wintertime, it's wolves. Like honestly, there's wolves that come into town, and they'll take dogs. They'll like grab dogs from people's yards.
Mine.
And yeah, so I thinking about the dogs.
Yoink.
Because imagine the dogs are actually afraid of the wolves. Imagine them being afraid of something that looks like you, but bigger than you, that only comes around seasonal, and it's like I can't imagine like the mind trip that is for the dogs, man.
Yeah.
Because I
That's
think
me
the
at the
dogs want
bar.
to play with the wolves at first most of the time. that's every Friday night for Matt.
Oh, God. That 10 years that we
payday.
spent at
That's
the
never
Toad.
payday.
Eesh. Looking up at all these roid jocks. Like, you look like me, but
Dogs.
Yeah.
that's why I've
to
never
say.
understood why someone would date why anyone would date someone much stronger than them. Like I've always maintained that I would like to be able to at least put up enough of a fight
Yeah.
to be able to wound them and get away.
Yeah.
I've dated someone only mildly taller than me or shorter than me.
I think that's a solid policy.
Yeah, it's a good policy.
Yeah.
Or someone like Tim who's just got such a soft heart that I could
Because
rip
it's
it out
so
of his chest.
enlarged.
I always make sure I date somebody littler than me, too.
Yeah.
You can't put that on your Tinder. Like,
I don't have a choice.
must be smaller than me. Must be able to dominate you.
Yeah. I must be able
Must not be able to run more than 15 kilometers an hour.
I have to be able to wound you.
No penchant for calling the cops.
Do you guys want to play a game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's play a game.
All right. It's time to play a very special game that we put our own little title on it. We like to call it Two Truths and a Lie. Matt, do you want to explain to the listener how this game works?
Yeah, I would love to. So Two Truths and a Lie is a wonderful game we love to play where one of us will say 3 statements, 2 of which are true, 1 of which is a lie, and it's the rest of the group's responsibility to figure out which statement is the lie. Helping us out with that this week is our honored guest from Poplar River, Manitoba.
Poplar River First Nation.
Poplar River First Nation. Paul Rabliauskis.
Hey-o! Alrighty. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys good?
I think we're
All
good.
right. So when I was when I was 18 years old, my mom's birthday, I spent $140 and took her to go see Neil Diamond real close up to the stage. And I was 18 and I dressed like a homie. I had my hat up, I had my hoodie up. And by the end of it, I got emotional when he sang I Am during the second encore. Like emotions, bro.
Okay. I love it.
So good.
Number 2, secretly, I fantasize and I'm obsessed about getting into the world of ASMR. It's to the point where I feel like I could start my own channel. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Our ASMR
something
heads are
that
going
I
nuts.
think about a lot. Yeah, it's something that I think about a lot, and is definitely something that I would get into and will get into eventually.
Okay.
Wow,
And
okay.
the final one is my dad happens to be good friends with Canadian country superstar Charlie Major, and I've spent pretty much my entire adulthood trying to make him my friend. And that's because him and my dad aren't that close anymore, but like I'm hoping that like he'll let me open for him when things get like we've talked a bunch of times, and we've talked actually about like when things get back to normal, maybe I get to do some opening spots on some Charlie Major shows when things get back to normal, hopefully.
Recent inductee to the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame.
He's a legend. He's a legend. Nice
Absolute legend.
guy too, real nice guy.
Wow.
Huh. Well, that is a great,
Yeah.
I don't mind saying it. That's a great 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think that, I want that first one to be true so bad. Neil Diamond, come on. That guy will turn you into a puddle. Talk about energy. He's got it. Okay, so I want that to be true. The second one, the ASMR. I know you'd be great at it. But I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to say the Charlie Major is the lie, and it's actually Charlie Minor.
Oh my God.
I think that the first one is a lie. I feel like it's like it wasn't Neil Diamond, but it was like maybe like Billy Joel or something like that.
Nice.
Okay. I
Paul,
think
not a Billy Joel fan.
I think the first one is definitely true. I've seen Paul reference Neil Diamond 100 times on stage. In fact, sometimes he sits on the stool and calls it his Neil Diamond acoustic set. I know he loves Neil Diamond, so this is absolutely true. The ASMR thing,
It sounds true.
I think that could be true too. Yeah, you're like you said, you're getting very creative in during the lockdown, but even just being out at Poplar River seems to have helped you explore other avenues. So I think that's true. I think that the Charlie Major is. I think that's the lie.
Yeah, I definitely think the Neil Diamond one is true as well. I think the ASMR is the lie. I think you're maybe thinking Foley, but not quite ASMR yet.
Ooh, somebody went to film school.
All right, so that's everyone locked in. So Do a little drum roll. Ba-do-boo-boo. All right.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't even like Charlie Major in real life. I have actually beef with Charlie Major. He kind of big time me at a show. He big time me in Fisher River Nation, man. I was the host of that show, and he was strumming, and I was just like, "Hey, my auntie's a huge fan." He's like, "Cool, man," and I was like, "Okay, make some room in the fridge." Charlie Major. In mind. Don't care for him. Don't want to be friends. Don't need to be friends.
He needs you, man.
Yeah.
So the lie is the Charlie Major. That's great. Okay, so
Great stories.
Yeah.
So can you can you walk
Good job.
us?
You guys knew. I know. You know. There's very few things about me in my life. There's Fraser, Neil Diamond, and I'm from the Res. Like, there's not much to me, man. Got me down to a peg. I thought I was unique.
Man, yeah, those are some great idiosyncrasies of yours.
Yeah. What do you think is the best?
I just heard idiot, man. That's all I heard.
What's the best live concert you've ever seen, Paul? Would you say is Neil Diamond up there, number one?
Neil Diamond is. I haven't actually seen that many concerts in my time. So Neil Diamond, it's either that or between that and Gob at the X.
Oh, I remember that.
Listen to this range. Your two best
Yeah, it was
Neil
free.
Diamond or
At the
Gob.
Neil Diamond at the MTS, the old arena, Neil Diamond Arena almost front row, or Gob with all of my cousins. I don't want them there. I don't know. Neil Diamond definitely.
I love that.
Oh, that's so funny. I feel like we're all in that age range that we all saw Gob, like not by any doing of our own.
Yeah.
There's no way to not see Gob.
Yeah, I'm not a Gob fan, but I think I also saw them at the Red River X.
Yeah, Gob is in like the background of so many of my photos from when I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
What was the name of that song that they did with the music video where it's like
Go for
in the high school like football field at
I
night?
hear you
Calling
calling from the
night, and it's all bad.
in the building. Big Shiny Tunes 5.
Yeah.
What do you attribute your diversity of musical tastes to, Paul?
We're all the same. We all grew up on the same shit. It's like much music, whatever Power 97 was playing, whatever much more music was playing. So it's like I feel like when we get together and we can just start singing songs like it's dude's Canadian, like it's summertime in the woods. I can belt off a Serial Joe. It's all a mistake. How much can I take? Where you going?
But all that makes sense to me. But where does Neil Diamond come from?
That comes from my uncle. That comes from my uncle Norman's depression. That's where that came from. That came from him needing a voice in his life. Me driving with him down the road, and he put the tape in, and he's like, Uncle Norman going through shit. He's tearing up, and Neil Diamond was there for him, and I saw that. I saw that emotion.
Oh.
And I felt it. Wow.
Yeah.
It's real life. God never made my uncle feel that way. Never.
Imagine somebody who does feel that way about Gob. They always tear up at a Gob show. They take their mom to a Gob show.
Only Gob can judge me now.
Imagine your uncle takes you down the road and puts in a Gob tape and is like, I'm going through some hard times.
Yes. You give her the shush treatment like Elaine on Seinfeld. You gotta turn the radio. Yeah, no, now.
And then ASMR, so we can expect maybe some of that coming down the pipeline. Do some live ASMR shows.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm kind of scared. I kind of want to eat stuff, but I'm scared. Like I want, like there's ASMR where you're allowed to eat stuff. That's kind of what I want to do, but I'm scared.
what would you eat?
Rice chips, like the rice cakes.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they're crunchy. They have a good texture to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you should do it because you're scared. Like that's the mark. That's the mark of true vulnerability and your true calling. You have to go into the fear, Paul. True vulnerability. You're a
Terrified.
performer. You just got to go in.
Yeah.
Courage.
Do something that scares you every day, they say.
Maybe I can throw some like First Nation, like moose meat. Like I could eat moose
yeah.
meat or like rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do it. I would make ASMR. I would make it ASMR for indigenous people, but like I don't want to play into stereotypes, but our people are bad of hearing. So it's like, huh?
That's
It's a lot
not a
of, huh?
stereotype I've ever heard.
I've never
never
heard
heard
that.
that.
Our people,
What?
yeah, our people, we don't hear very well. If you notice, you see a lot of Native people going, huh? It's a lot of that.
Really?
So,
I've never noticed that.
There's a fear. Yeah, there's a fear. There's a weird market to corner because they gotta listen. That's the whole point, is them listening extra. You gotta listen extra in ASMR.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really like
That's the point.
heavy metal listening. Like you just gotta be really.
Yeah.
What's your favorite ASMR thing? Like, what's your favorite sound? Would you say?
I don't like actually, I'm not a big fan of the tapping. I'm more of a fan of like, this is one ASMR lady, like she does the entire play Hamilton in like just whispering. I like that because it's long and it won't wake me up. It's just mostly for sleeping. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
And I like soft singing.
Yes.
The whisper singing is very like, I was gonna do it, then I changed. I wouldn't on my channel anyway. I wouldn't there. I wouldn't.
I hear you calling, calling out in the night.
Now, are
I love
any of
it, Tim. I
you,
love it.
are any of you as mistrusting as I am? I'm always worried that these people are gonna, at the end, they're gonna like blast me. You know?
I feel
Yeah,
like
like
it's
it's a
there's,
like
prank.
like-
Rick rolled.
Yeah.
You're gonna get pranked.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna lose my hearing.
And my apartment.
I'm worried about that. That's a definite fear. That's something you got to worry about.
How do you?
Pranksters.
I got.
You got to
I
go
just
to
gotta
a trusted channel. You got to go to someone. Yeah. You got to go to someone that you've already built a trust with.
But what if it's a long con?
What I'm gonna do is
They've been going for 5 years just so that they can get you.
Well, then they deserve it.
Yeah, I guess.
Then touche.
Yeah, that's a good prank then. Then good on that. If they pull that off, kudos.
oh my god. Just for laughs, gags, long cons.
Whole season.
It's like a gritty Netflix series where it's like like 90-minute episodes of just pranking one guy.
They get married.
Get divorced. That's the whole thing.
They have a child together and everything. They
have a kid.
Yeah, and then his wife and kid get kidnapped or something like that, and then somebody walks out and just points to where the cameras are. Look at the camera.
They're dressed like a nun.
My kid's not dead.
That's not your kid. That's actually an actor. He's 34.
Got him.
Well, that actually brings us into another segment. That's a great sketch idea.
Yeah. We've been on the season 2 of the Hunks podcast. We're doing things a little bit differently, where we're kind of towards the end of it. We're ending it off with a segment where one of us presents some ideas for some sketches, and then we can shoot the shit on them and riff on them, talk about them, elaborate on the worlds that we're trying to create. So this week, Matt has some sketch premises for us. So what do you got for us, Nighty? Let's hear 'em.
Okay. You're probably going to want to stop at one because these are so good. Okay, so what about, you know the scenario where like somebody's about to get hit by a bus or something in the movies, and then somebody dives and gets them out of the way?
Yes.
Classic scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this person that's about to get hit by a bus, and then this guy runs and dives, but way under judges it and doesn't even come close to getting him, and then looks up and sees the person get hit by a bus.
He hits the side of the bus.
Right in the ad.
I'm sorry. I used to be much stronger. Classic wedding singer.
Oh man.
Maybe the,
You know what, I
maybe
never-
the bus door is open, he jumps in.
285, please.
He was worried about missing the bus the entire time.
Yeah.
Or there could be like he does make it in time and pushes them out of the way of like a slow moving bus and into the oncoming fast moving bus.
Fast traffic. The bus was stopping anyway.
Yeah, the bus was already going to stop.
He pushes him into the open door of the bus. You know what I never understood was that trope when it played out in movies, someone jumped and like pushed someone out of the way and then they got hit by the bus. Like, how does that work? I don't understand. Like, wouldn't you just keep moving?
No, I think
Yeah,
they
why do
realize
you
that
stand
somebody
to-
has to.
Why do you have to take the force of the bus? Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I hate the most from like movie tropes that's really, I think maybe in the last like 7-8 years or whatever is, and I've seen this so much, is they're driving in a car, everything's going great, they're singing, they're happy, they look back at the kid in the back seat.
I know it's coming. I see it.
And then the camera is facing the side of the vehicle. All of a sudden, there's a fucking truck, and now we just got hit by a truck.
And it feels like you got hit by a truck emotionally.
I hate that.
They always leave enough framing. You can always tell. They just just enough frame.
Just enough. Yeah.
It's like, why am I seeing more world all of a sudden? Why am I seeing more of the world that I'm not seeing?
Yeah.
When regular people are like, why is this framed weird?
Yeah.
Why is it different?
Norman Jewison's not doing his job properly on this one. You guys want another sketch idea?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, how about this one? Okay, so a guy he's in the hospital, he's got amnesia, and he is convinced that he used to be a secret agent for the CIA. But he was actually just a guy who masturbated racehorses.
Why? Why did he masturbate? Like, was that his job or his
That's
hobby?
a job. That's a job.
That was his job beforehand. And so his whole life now is like, no, I'm pretty sure I was a CIA agent. What about this huge sock? It must have held a gun. And then his family's like, no, man.
And he tries to do a bunch of martial arts, but the only thing he's good at is whipping nunchucks around.
And this movement, the hand up and down movement.
That's it.
And he's like, well, why do I have this huge gun? And then if I'm not a
That's an
spy,
inseminator.
they're like, oh, that's to put down the horses that refuse to get masturbated or something.
A horse can refuse to get masturbated. It's No Nut November.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that is a job.
That's crazy. Why? To calm them down?
Well, I read a little bit about this. It is, yes, to calm down the female horses, and because they're like can be very anxious. It's a way to calm their anxiety. But for the males, particularly if they're like Triple Crown contenders, that is the bloodline. So people will pay millions of dollars to get some of that semen to create
jizz, yeah.
another Triple Crown
Horse
winner.
jizz.
Yeah. Wow.
So you gotta get that out of them.
Pricey
I love
horse
that.
jizz. So it must pay pretty well if it's expensive jizz.
Yeah, well, you
Is it
know,
like
you don't work a
caviar?
day in your life if you do what you love.
I think Bloomy used to have a joke about that, where he
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing
he
when
did.
you're hiring that, you can't hire someone who really wants the job.
Yeah, you got to find somebody who wants it, but not too badly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you guys? Has anybody here ever jerked off an animal?
No.
Oh my God, Tim.
I once let my dog hump my leg for longer than I should. Nothing happened.
What?
Because, okay, so the dog would hump legs. We've all experienced this, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the dog would hump legs, and my parents would be like, quit that. And then this one time I was like, well, the parents aren't around. Why are they fucking getting on this dog's case all the time? What is he hurting?
Yeah.
And then my dad comes around the corner. He's like, no. I was like, what?
He like jumps, pushes the dog into a bus.
I by the way, I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, before you know like what's actually happening. I remember there was like this small family gathering. It was just me and my uncle and my dad. Dana, I think you were there. It's at my uncle's place, and we were like sitting around, and they have this big black lab, and the lab was like sitting in the middle of this family gathering, and it was a bit somber, like we were talking about my great aunt that had just passed, and then the dog started licking its hog and getting this huge gross dog erection right in the middle of the room. Like,
Oh, no.
this is big
So
pink
gross.
fucking, gross.
Dog erections
Can't
are
have any
gross.
serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a nightlight.
Shiny, too.
So bright. I'm always thinking about how bright those things are. It's like, why is it so shiny? We've had plenty of wild like res dogs, but yeah, I
Man,
have an
that's
attachment,
why I
and then
got-
you look over, and then he's got like he's licking himself, and I'm just like, what, dude?
So fucking gross. But that's why we got, like, I was like, I refuse to get a male dog because I just can't stand the lipstick. Like, I can't stand the dog wiener. And
Right.
But then we got Peggy, who wasn't spayed. She's a girl, and she would just go to fucking town on herself until she got spayed. And part of it was because she was getting her period,
Really?
Yeah.
which is also gross. But I maintain that dog wieners and humping is grosser than a dog period because she can't help it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to
And I
town
guess
licking.
I can't either.
And like,
Yeah.
unless they're having like sex, I think an erection for them is always accidental. That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
I'm like, I tried not to be too weirded out,
Right.
but like I was in grade 8, seeing my dog's erection for the first time. I tried my hardest not to be weirded out.
Yes.
So hard. I love this guy.
Yeah.
I was weirded out. I was a little weirded out. And I shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been.
Right.
I shouldn't have been.
It's natural. It's normal. No big deal, right?
My friend's dog used to, and this is the creepiest fucking thing I've ever seen in a dog. She used to sneak up. We would be like sitting on the ground because we'd be out on a canoe trip or something like that. So we'd be sitting on the ground, and she would sneak up behind you. And the only way that you knew she was there is that you just felt this faint like sniffing and licking of your ear. And she was really, really into ears, and she'd be humping the air behind you. She'd be like, as far away she could be, sniffing and licking your ear and humping the air behind you. It was so weird.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound that. It kind of sounds like it sounds a little bit like ASMR, just a little bit. I think it sounds okay.
Yeah.
Like dog ASMR.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think that's totally cool, actually. I think that's cool that the dog did that.
Yeah. You know, and I never thought of it like that. It's kind of like
normal.
meditation, right?
Exactly. Maybe she was just centering herself.
I had a standoff with the neighbor's dog. 'Cause, he here on the reserves, the dogs run wild, right? There's no indoor dogs. So the neighbors' dogs do whatever the hell they want. So I was out in the yard, and then the neighbor's dog just showed up, and we both startled each other. And then so he started growling at me, and it's just, we literally had like this stand. I was literally in my yard for 40 minutes just looking at him, waiting for him to chill out. And like he was growling. Every time I moved, he would like growl and come at me. So like I just felt like such a victim. Like I was victimized by my neighbor's dog. Like I couldn't go anywhere for 40 whole.
Oh God, I hate that.
Scary.
I hate that.
But I'm okay. He's okay now. I fed him. I saw him the other day, and then I fed him some food, and I think we're okay now. I gave him some old turkey sandwich meat. I think we're cool now. Better be.
That's hard. That's a hard dynamic. Matt, any more sketch pitches for us?
Just trying to live my own life in my own yard. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, what about a guy who took like a 20-year vow of silence, and then the timer just went off, and so now he's got 20 years of shit that he just really wants to say about everything.
Really boring stories.
Boring story. Or else like he witnessed a murder.
And then he's at the police station. The cops are like, "You could have written it down."
Yeah. Yeah, he's the dumbest monk of all time.
Yeah.
The details are very fuzzy because it was 15 years ago. But I know who Jack the Ripper is.
He time traveled and revealed himself to me.
I do like the world's shittiest monk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a dumb.
It's just always on
monk.
Facebook.
Lazy monk.
Yeah. Sharing conspiracy theories.
QAnon. He's QAnon for sure.
Always growing his hair out.
Rocking the classic skullet look.
He's got a skull.
And when he
Plays in a
finally speaks, when he finally speaks,
He's got a Bluetooth speaker.
he's got a Jersey accent. Hey, I can finally talk again. I don't know if that's a Jersey accent. All right, now it's Jerry's time to shine. You guys want to see my nipple piercings?
Hey, look at the hooters on that one.
Those are some nice jugs right there.
Hey, am I right, guy? Hey, come on. I'm talking for the first time in 20 years here.
Lady, I've been meaning to tell you this for years. I love your jugs.
Larry, you can't say that stuff now. It's been 20 years since you could talk.
Like he went into the vow of silence before he hit puberty. 10, and now he's 30. He's just got all this pent up.
Whoa, look at that weird dog dick. And then, like, Just for Laughs gags comes out. It's like,
You've been long conned.
There's the camera. There's the camera. There's the camera.
Nice. I like world's stupidest monk. That's a fun premise.
Okay.
I love it. I'm a big fan of Stupidest Monk also.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, we're coming in on the end of this podcast. For the listeners at home, I hope you're staying safe. Listen on through to the very end of the episode, because every episode of season 2 of the Hunks podcast, we are premiering a brand new sketch that we wrote and recorded, and Rusty Matthias, our beautiful sound designer, aka the Jingle King, he's put some beautiful audioscapes on it. Paul, you remember Rusty from the old Cavern days? How good were those
of course.
days?
I love Rusty.
Oh.
He commented on a Facebook post of mine maybe 2 months ago. So
Get out of here.
there. He's still there.
Oh, yeah.
Love Rusty. He's so talented. So talented.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, big time.
So stay tuned to the very end of the episode to listen to that. as far as plugs and stuff like that goes, Paul, what do you got coming up? I know that I don't know if you want to talk about it or whatnot, but I know that you and Pat Thornton were working on something. Is that still in the works?
Yeah, we haven't written a lot recently, but it's still, hopefully we're still waiting for Bell to respond to some stuff, but it's been a while since we've written, but we're still, we're still hoping that it's going to get picked up and we're still going to have a TV show.
Yeah.
So
everything that I heard about it makes me so excited, like so excited. It's one of those things where
it's beautiful. We go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, fucking Bell's just got to get off their ass and get going and make that move. And if you're sitting at home, send an email to Bell. Tell him to get it going here.
It's really cool. I honestly think we're sitting on a cool project. I think this is a show I've always said that I think our First Nations people I've always wanted to see First Nations people put out there. It's a comedy. It's it's about a family, and it's something that I feel like we need as part of our culture, and and we have so many good people on board, and it's so I keep an eye open for it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be out there one day.
Fuck yeah, it will.
Yeah, man.
And you can, of course, check out Paul in the new wave of stand-up on CBC Gem. Highly recommend that. That's one of the best like stand-up sets I've seen filmed in that environment.
Thanks, man.
It's hard to be comfortable in that. It's hard to be yourself and be comfortable.
It is.
Like you mentioned in the beginning of the episode, how you're starting to feel like you found your voice or whatever. And I feel like watching that was like watching Paul at the Cavern or at the old Jekyll and Hyde's or the Standard or I called it the Standard. What is it? The Rosenby now?
Handsome Daughter now.
Handsome Daughter now.
Handsome Daughter.
Good God.
Thank you.
Been a while, but yeah.
It is tougher because I've done TV stuff, but I've never been that comfortable on TV before. So, and hopefully in the new year, I don't know when it's coming out, but my set on the John Doerr show, I think you'll see the same sort of me being comfortable and just messing.
Awesome.
Nice.
And it's not so structured. So
Sweet.
yeah, and also add me on social media, follow me on social media, because I'm hoping in the springtime my YouTube we're gonna have sketches, we're gonna have like top 5 videos for like top 5 native wrestlers, top 5 native comics.
Fuck yeah.
It's indigenous oriented, but it's like if you look at comedy, then you'll be a fan of this. So that hopefully that comes out in the spring. And then you can catch me I'll be at the Northern Store tomorrow. Grocery shop at 2. I'll be there between 2 and 2:30. But do you know what? Thank you guys so much for it. Honestly, it's been so long. Like I honestly, there's days where I feel super isolated and I'm so far and from everybody. But it's days like this that it feels like I'm hanging out with y'all in your living room. So it feels really dope that I got to be a part of this. Yeah, thank you guys for that.
Thanks for doing it,
man. Thanks for doing it.
I wish we could just do this every fucking week,
Yeah.
Yeah, this was dope. I really enjoyed this.
Cancel all the rest of the guests, and it's just Graham Clark episode 1, and then 9 episodes of us with Paul.
What did we say? I said we're gonna call it chunks, though. If we're gonna do that, we have to call it chunks. Because I'm overweight.
LL.
You guys want to see my treadmill? You want to see my treadmill?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I bought that 9 days ago.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I lost 9 pounds in 9 days, fellas.
Oh,
and
shit.
Dana.
Oh, wow.
I lost 9 pounds in 9 days.
You're looking
Whoa.
good, man. You're looking good.
You are looking
Super
really
skinny.
good.
Yeah.
Feeling super skinny. I miss fast food so much, though. I really do. I miss fast food a lot.
That's bad for you.
Doesn't make you feel good.
Oh, fucking made me feel great today.
No, it doesn't. Of course it does. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
You fucking kidding me? Of course it makes you feel good.
Jesus Christ, Tim, shut up. Here.
Sometimes when I'll throw away meat, and sometimes it'll be in my garbage for a while, and sometimes it kind of smells like Burger King. Sometimes. Those are good days. On a good day.
That's their secret recipe, old meat. Yeah.
Hey, wait, how new is this old
I did
beef?
this at all.
Did you just throw this away? Put it back.
You can't be serving that.
New week from last week.
Wear that under your arm
Brand
for a
new.
little while, okay?
So Hunks has a live sketch comedy album that we recorded in November of 2019 at Wee Johnny's that is going to be released sometime in the spring of this year. So get excited for that. It's going to be fucking great. It was a really great show. It was like a
It is exciting.
perfect culmination of the recording equipment working and the audience wanting the show to be successful.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to get that into people's hands and get that out into the world.
Who you guys working on that? Is it just through you guys? Are you recording the album and putting out the album yourself?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already recorded. And
We're just
Nice.
waiting on one more no from a record label.
Yeah.
We have
One more no.
We have almost all the no's we need. We just need one more. We just need one more no, and then we'll just put it out ourselves.
Love it.
Rory, where else can people find Hunk stuff?
You can find Hunks on YouTube and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the usual places at Hunks Comedy. We got a ton of video sketches that we've done over the years on our YouTube channel. So just go there and spend an afternoon watching
Great
that
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna fucking collaborate on some fun shit this summer, possibly some ASMR.
Oh,
ASMR
Ooh.
fishing trip.
you promise?
Yeah. We'll bring our recording equipment out to fucking
You guys better
Poplar
not be
River.
playing. You guys better not be pranking me.
no.
You guys better not be gagging me right
The
now.
long con.
We'll put out we'll put out 10 albums together.
You guys fly out. You're not recording anything at all. Broke my heart.
And then it's just a
You got me, guys.
super
You got me.
loud noise right at the end.
That one really hurt.
We just set up a bunch of fireworks.
Yeah, dressed like bears.
Remember those things you're scared of? Remember all those things you told us you're terrified of, Paul? Bam!
Also, we released your ASMR album. No. All right.
You know what? I'd still be happy just to spend time with y'all, even if all that went down. I'd still be happy because we got time spent.
Sweet, sweet man.
Yeah, man. All right, Paul. We love you so much.
Yeah, man.
I love you guys.
Love you too. Take care.
Onwards and upwards. See you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you soon.
Here.
Honey, since it's your special birthday, why don't you go see if you can get a birthday boy tour of the cockpit?
Great idea, Glenda. I mean, you only turned 60 once. Oh my God! What happened in here?
Sir, I'm sorry. The pilot and co-pilot are passed out. I'm gonna need you to return to your seat with the other passengers while I try and find help. Now, please excuse me.
I guess it's up to me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Greg Henderson. There's no easy way to put this, but the pilot and co-pilot are unconscious and unresponsive. Now, I may not know much about flying a plane, but that is the least of our concerns right now. I need everyone to remain calm, fasten your seatbelts, and prepare for takeoff.
HUNKS is a sketch comedy group from Winnipeg, got it? They are Rory Fallis, Tim Gray, Matt Nightingale, and Dana Smith. Episodes are produced and recorded each week from their homes in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Additional production and editing and stuff like that by me, Rusty Mattias, at my home. And thanks again to this week's special guest, super special guest, Paul Rabliauskis. I love Paul Rabliauskis. Be sure to tune in next week to the Hunks podcast and subscribe wherever you're listening right now. Have a great week, everyone. Okay, bye.